Hello everyone, welcome back. Kevin with Survivalist Boards. I had a special request on a video the other day. Make sure I'm not standing in an ant bed. Anyway, had a special request. The guy said, Kevin, why don't you talk to us a little about your hiking and kind of stuff that you do to get ready for the hiking trip, or some of the gear that you carry, stuff. I mean, just like a general kind of question type of thing. So I was like, okay. One of the things that I say in my video quite often is I've been doing this stuff for a long time. As of when this video is made, I'm a little over 50 years old, really 50 and a half. I've been trompsing these woods since my dad was able to get me and my brother across the creek, go squirrel hunting with him. So I've probably been squirrel hunting, trompsing through the woods, say 45, 46 years or so. So now let's get back to the hiking. Whenever I get ready to go on a hiking trip, there are several things that I do, guys. Scratch my nose a little bit. Several things that I do. And I'm planning a hiking trip right now. I may go off on one tomorrow. One of the things that I do is I plan. It's like, okay, what y'all don't know is I also do some nature photography. I like to bring my camera out, like the camera I'm filming this video with. I've got another brand new camera, Nikon D3400. And I say, okay, I use these cameras for nature photography and for videos. It's like, okay, well, what do I hope to achieve with this hiking trip? For example, is there a hilltop that I want to cover? Do I want to go around a hilltop and look down into this valley? I say valley, it's just rolling hills around here. Do I want to go up to this hilltop and then look down to that valley and go down to this creek and then hike the creek? Do I want to get some pictures from the side of a hill or from a hilltop? Do I want to go get some pictures from a creek? Is this just a natural, just a exploring type of trip? How much time do I want to spend? How much land do I want to travel? One thing that I do is I get on Google Earth and I'll say, okay, I want to start here and I want to go here. And this is the type of terrain that I'm expecting to see. But I've also got topographical maps of the area. So I pull up my topo maps and fold them out and compare that to Google Earth. And I use Google Earth to kind of plot my path that I'm thinking about taking. I know how fast I travel in the area, going over the hills, around the hills, through the creeks. I know how fast I travel. So if I've got a 5 mile, let's say I've got a 5 mile hike. I know that busting brush, going around the hills, going through the creeks, it's going to take me I'm going to travel about a mile, mile and a quarter per hour. And y'all say, Kevin, only a mile per hour? Guys, yeah, because that is also in terrain. What I'm measuring is flat. Okay, so I'm measuring in flat, but I cannot calculate going around the hills and coming back down. So it's a lot more than just 1 mile per hour, because of using Google Earth, it's just flat terrain. You're just measuring a flat surface, and that's not calculating going up the hills and around the creeks and stuff like that. So, all right, so I'd say, okay, like I'm planning on this trip. It's an old logging road. It's 2 miles from where I would ideally get dropped off at. And I want to spend, and it's not going to take me 2 hours to get there because this is on a road. I'm not brush busting. So, okay, so I may have somebody drop me off at this logging road at a fork, and then I'm gonna take the fork down to a creek. And the purpose of this hike is to get some photography pictures of the creek. I may even do some perch fishing while I'm up in there. And so, where was I? All right, planning. So I plan the hike around what I want to do. Do I want to go fishing at a certain pond or pool or body of water way up in the woods, or do I just want to go on a hiking trip, just get some scenery, find certain things? Is there a deer camp, abandoned deer camp I want to go look for or heard about? Okay, so I have an idea of what I want to do. Then I start considering like local rainfall, water, very important this time of year. So I'm making this video in July, so water. Okay, so I know, once again, pull out the topographical maps. Small streams, feeder creeks, and it's like, okay, well, we haven't had any rain in 2 weeks. Not really, because we had some rain last night, so water shouldn't be a problem. Like, let's go back a few years. My son and my nephew, we went on a hiking trip, a couple of them in fact, and there had not been any serious rainfall in a while. So I knew that whenever we came upon water, that we needed to tank up. We needed to rehydrate. We needed to sit there at that creek for a few minutes, rehydrate, filter the water, rehydrate some more, cool off, and then continue on. That hiking trip was between major feeder creeks and places that I had an idea of where the water was going to be. Looking at the contour of the land, you come over a hill. Like one time we came over a hill, or around a hill, not over the top, but around the side of a hill, and there were a bunch of ferns there. I was like, okay, well, ferns usually grow in areas that have a lot of water, or have a certain amount of, that stay wet. It's like, okay, well, then guys, I was like, okay guys, we need to go down this hill. We need to go that way. We were supposed to go that way, but it was like, no, we need to go this way. And they were like, why do we need to go that way? Because the compass, the map says we need to go this way. I said, guys, there's water down there. It's been a while since we've refilled our canteens, a while since it's been hot. So it's like planning phase. All right, so I know what I want to do. I know what I want to do. I have an idea of what I want to go on a hiking trip for, what purpose it's going to serve. Then comes the planning. It's how much time do I want to spend on this hike? Is this going to be an all-day hike, a 10-hour hike, 8-hour hike, 6-hour hike, just a 2 or 3 hour hike? Am I going to be leaving the farm and going off, hitting the national forest, coming home? Am I going to have somebody drop me off and I hike home? Or so it's this big planning phase of where, and then after I get all that done, I pull up Google Earth and I plot my path. I have got all this planned out, guys. I plot my path, and on Google Earth you can do a path thing and do a ruler in miles. So I kind of go with that path, mosquitoes, and then I take a screenshot of that. Take a screenshot of my intended path, and I send it to my wife. I may send it to my mom, or my dad, or my brother, somebody that if they know when I'm leaving, when I'm supposed to be home. If I'm not home, if I have to spend the night in the woods, if something happens, I fall into a creek or something, break my leg or something, fall into a hole, they know where I'm going to be at. So it's, all right, we know what we're doing on the trip. I know what I want to do on the trip. I have an idea what the trip's for. Planning of water. Now, I'm not going to have a whole lot of worry about water right now because we've had somewhat steady rainfall over the past few days. Next is plotting the path of how many miles and how much time I want to spend in the woods. Taking a screenshot of the path. Sending that screenshot to somebody so they know where I'm at because I'm going to be alone. In some places that I go, I don't have cell phone. So then I convey all that information to somebody. I will tell my mom, I tell my dad, I tell my wife, tell somebody else. It's like, this is where I send that screenshot to them. Hey, I'm leaving at this amount of time. I'm leaving at this time in the morning. Somebody's going to go in there and drop me off. It's like, okay. And I'm taking this path through the woods to here, and then from here, I'm going to take this road and walk home. Okay. So then everybody's on the same playing field. And I said that I'm expecting to spend, and I add a couple hours to it. Let's say I'm going on a 5-mile hike, and I'm expecting this to be 6 hours. Okay. I'm expecting this hike to last 7 to 8 hours. Bringing food with me, bringing topo maps with me, GPS, rain poncho, a few other little survival odds and ends that if I have to spend a night in the woods, then I'm somewhat prepared. And so that's the prepping phase. So that's all, I mean, just all of that goes into my planning because one, I'm not in a park, I don't follow hiking trails. There's no hiking trails around here. Very rarely will I follow a four-wheeler trail or a road. So it's like, I get dropped off from point A, I'm going to point B, then from point B, I may go to point C, and then from point C, I'm going to point D, then from point D, then I'm going on home, or E or F, and then that's how it goes. So that's my planning on a hiking trip. I know it sounds convoluted. I know it sounds, well, Kevin, man, that sure is a lot of effort. But guys, whenever I hit the woods, I got those topo maps. It's hot. It's 90 degrees out there, humidity, I had 70%, 60% humidity. You've got a heat index of 110. It's like, I know that I'm going from this point, and then I can expect water and a nice creek over here. And if I have to, I get in that creek and cool down. So there's none of this, oh man, heat exhaustion, heat stroke, I ran out of water. No, because everything is planned out ahead of time. All right, next we're going to talk about packing for the day hike. And then clothing. We're probably going, since we've talked about the planning phase and all the stuff that I plan for, then next thing is me clothing. But that's going to be a whole nother video, guys. It's going to be a whole other video. Excuse me. So, all right, guys and gals, that's it for now. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'll talk to y'all later.